Hey guys, LevelCap here. Welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming. Starting off, we're going to talk about Battlefield 1's latest patch, which is basically revolving around the user interface. It does a bunch of stuff like upgrading the end score screen of every match, giving you some more analytics and showing off some better stats as to your progression with each class and stuff like that. But one of the big changes with this patch is that it has changed up completely how battle packs are awarded. Previously, battle packs were awarded at the end of a round to random players. It didn't matter how well you performed that match, your odds of getting a battle pack were pretty much the same as somebody who could have been last place on your team. This time around though, DICE is taking more of a merit-based approach, which means that the amount of points and basically PTFOing and scoring you do in-match is directly going to contribute to how quickly you unlock battle packs. Now, I tested it out on Thursday. I played for about 5 hours, lots of operations, lots of PTFOing, lots of first places in servers, and in 5 hours, I got halfway through unlocking a single battle pack. Fortunately, this was a bug, and DICE has patched it since then, so if you tried it out on Thursday and were like, what the heck, this system sucks, it should be fixed now, and you should be unlocking battle packs at a much more agreeable rate. I think most players, just about all players out there, should agree that this is a better system. However, if on average you are not a high scoring player and you don't do particularly well in your matches, you might get battle packs at a slightly slower rate. But I think 90% of the players out there will probably get them at faster rates now. So overall, it's a good improvement, and any merit-based system is fine with me. PlayStation 4 owners that have pre-ordered Destiny 2 will get access to the game starting on July 18th. Xbox One owners will get it the day after, on July 21st. All owners of both systems will get access. The PC beta is planned for late August. The beta will include at least one story mission, a strike, and limited PvP. Destiny 1's beta was actually pretty substantial, and I'd expect the same to be true for Destiny 2. The Star Wars Battlefront 2 closed alpha has kicked off. I'd tell you all about it, but it is totally locked down under NDA. However, based on what's been leaked about it so far, it looks like it's the same build from E3, playing the Assault on Theed map. And of course, lots of other things have been leaked about the system. The new Battle Pack system or crate system has sparked some pay-to-win controversy. In Battlefront 1, players could buy star cards with credits earned by playing the game. In Battlefront 2, players will get star cards in crates dropped at random. These crates will contain a randomized assortment of cards. The issue is players will also be able to buy these crates for real money. How much of an advantage star cards gives you isn't certain. So if a player can drop $60 and have a ton of really good star cards, it might put players that don't pay at a disadvantage. This is significantly different from other models out there. Take Blizzard's Overwatch model, where you get loot crates that give you purely cosmetic items. They're still highly desirable, players do pay money to get them, and you can unlock them from playing the game a lot. And with Battlefront implementing a system that gives you potential in-game advantages, it certainly leaves themselves open to the argument that the game could be a pay-to-win. We'll have to check out more when the game is not in a closed alpha or when the game is further along, so we can really see how much this is going to give paying players an actual advantage. I would imagine DICE isn't going to do something quite as foolish to give paying players a huge advantage, and if it's anything like the original Battlefront, a lot of the star cards will sort of be side grades or give you different ways of approaching combat rather than a straight advantage over other players. Ultimately though, it's hard to draw any conclusions about the system yet. We can certainly let DICE know that we're concerned that it might be a pay-to-win, but I'm still pretty excited about the fact that all the DLC is going to be free after launch and that the player base will not be split. If I at some point decide to spend $10 or $20 for some of the battle packs down the road to get some more gear, I'll still be spending less money than I would for an entire season of DLC. Boss Key's arena shooter Lawbreakers is currently in open beta on PC, which is running until the 5th. The game's full release is on August 5th. Since closed alpha, the developers have added new heroes, maps, as well as new game modes, one called Blitzball. How well Lawbreakers will do is still up for debate. Their most recent trailer was well received, but That was preceded by months of generally lukewarm responses to gameplay videos and closed playtesting events. We'll really have to see if this game can bring the arena shooter back into the limelight. I really am very skeptical still. I think the days of the classic arena shooter are kind of behind us, despite a lot of developers trying to bring it back. Quake Champions has also been trying to do the same thing, but overall there have been games out for years that have been doing classic arena shooter, and none of them have really caught on. So we'll just have to wait and see. Personally, I'm not hugely excited by it. I like more tactical, militaristic shooters, generally speaking, but I am willing to check it out. Modern Warfare Remastered has finally gone standalone, at least on the PlayStation 4. Available for $40, the remake of Call of Duty 4 was previously only available as part of an $80 addition to Infinite Warfare. The Variety Map Pack is not included in the standalone version and cost an additional $15. Fans of the franchise were reasonably upset when the Variety Map Pack originally launched for the bundle version of the game. Most people felt it should have been a free update to the game, considering it's DLC for a DLC game and is also remasters of existing DLC maps. Xbox One and PC players will most likely get the standalone version about a month or so from now. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is having another big week. The new monthly update for the game launched this week and is probably the best one they've put out so far. It includes several bug fixes, 2 new weather modes, the Groza assault rifle, and most importantly, server and client optimizations. Performance is better in a number of ways, particularly with FPS and looting. I'm getting at least 10 more FPS than I was before the patch, and looting is much snappier overall. The devs added a moving pickup animation that lets you grab loot without stopping, and it's made the looting experience overall more fluid and responsive. The patch also includes the first pass at item spawn balancing. If you want a full breakdown of the update, be sure to watch my video on it in the description. Recently, one of the lead PUBG developers said that they hoped the Xbox One version of the game would be able to cross-network play with PC. To compensate for the fact that PC is generally easier to aim with weapons and snappier, they would have to compensate with a huge amount of aim assist on the console version. This of course sparked a huge amount of controversy. The Reddit forums kind of blew up. People are already petitioning to not do cross-platform play. Personally, I'm very surprised to hear this from PUBG. Very few first-person shooters have tried cross-platform play, and almost all of them have had very, very limited success. The differences between PC and console are vast. You can aim incredibly fast on PC, and the only way to try and compensate for it is with a huge amount of aim assist, which inherently comes with its own problems and annoying aspects, especially if you're a mediocre PC player and you start getting dominated by console players that have the aim assist cranked up to 11. That's just going to be an unenjoyable experience all around. I think they should really reconsider cross-platform play. They certainly have the player base right now to fill up servers on PC alone, and I'm sure Xbox will have the player count that they need to play on Xbox alone. First-person shooters are not the type of game to try cross-platform play. Games like Rocket League or Hearthstone work just fine in cross-platform play. There doesn't seem to be much of a skill difference depending on what platform you're playing on, and so that's fine. First-person shooters is an entirely different world, and hearing this from one of the lead PUBG developers does give me a little bit of concern. It means that everybody on the team might not be quite as well plugged in with the general FPS gaming scene. Escape from Tarkov's closed beta has been announced. Starting this month, all players that pre-ordered the game will get access to the FPS MMO. The closed beta won't include all of the game's features, but it will include new mechanics that alpha players haven't seen yet. The biggest new addition is the insurance system. Basically, you can pay in-game credits to increase the chance of not losing your gear when you die. The beta will also include a new merchant, new loot, medicines, trade goods, the MP5 submachine gun, new gun parts, and new ammo types. The Halo fan game Installation 01 has received approval from 343 Industries and Microsoft Studios. Fans of the game worried since its first debut if the development would be shut down due to its close resemblance to Halo. Assuming the next Halo title isn't on PC, Installation 01 will be the first Halo experience on PC since Halo 2. The Forge mode from Halo 5 was released on PC last year, including multiplayer gameplay, but it didn't have public matchmaking or the full selection of maps available. In hardware news, Nintendo have announced the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. Priced at $80, the console will include 21 games and 2 controllers. Probably the most exciting feature is the inclusion of an unreleased game, Star Fox 2. The SNES Classic Edition launches on September 29th. Nintendo is promising better availability for the console than last year's NES Classic Edition, which sold out in minutes. Anyway, that wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. As always, guys, thanks for dropping by, and we'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.